Hello, everyone. Welcome to Healing Circle Talks with all of us. And we'll start with a moment of silence so that we can get into the zone of healing. Thank you, everyone. I'll start with the rules for today's Healing Circle. Healing Circle is a very sacred space built upon a foundation of kindness and respect. We all participants agree to one, treat each other with kindness and respect, listen with compassion and curiosity, honor each other's unique ways to healing, and don't presume to advise or fix or try to save each other. Hold all stories shared in the circle as confidential and privy. Trust each of us has the guidance we need within us, and we rely on the power of silence to access it. Hello, everyone. We are pleased to have Neelam Kumarji with us. Personally, I'm a big fan of Neelam ji. She has conquered cancer twice, not once but twice, and more than that, it's her spirit, her positive attitude that motivates me a lot. So I remember seeing one of her videos where she mentions that as a child, her teacher used to call her a wood sitting on a wood, and that she would never be able to learn English. But today she is a best-selling author, and her childhood dream of becoming a writer has been fulfilled with her positive attitude, her courage, and her outlook towards life. Not only that, she has conquered breast cancer not once but twice. And the spirit, the attitude, the learnings that Neelam ji shares with us is really amazing. Neelam ji, over to you. I would love to hear from you about how you describe things.
Thank you so much, Kishan. Thank you so much, Dimple. Thank you so much, Healing Circles, for having me over. I see Jyoti there, Jyoti Udeshi. Hello, darling. You've
Hi.
you've gone through this journey yourself.
Yes,
So
yes.
thank you so much for being here. Uh,
Thank you. And you being a total inspiration for me.
love you. Love you.
Total. Love you. Thank you so much for everything. Thank you.
Bless you. Before I begin, I would like to dedicate whatever we talk to all those stricken, struggling, and the fallen. Cancer is a very difficult journey. Therefore, anyone who has gone through chemotherapy, my salute to you. I speak from experienced pain. I speak with utter humility. My story is probably one in a million. There's nothing spectacular about it. I'm sure each of you has a more moving story, but I'm just grateful that this awesome couple, they have given me the opportunity to share my journey. So, Dimple, Kishan, what would you like me to tell you?
So Neelamji will want to hear about how the journey started from the time it was diagnosed. What
Yeah.
were the feelings or emotions at that point in time?
So when I think of my first cancer, I think of it in black and white. That was 1996. When I think of my second cancer, which was in 2013, I think of bright colors. And I'll explain why. So I was a young woman, deeply in love with my husband. And one day, the love of my life, the father of my two tiny children, fell down dead. The grief was so big that, I was trembling and I saw two small children clutching on to me for my skirts for support. So that was a frightening moment for me. But with no option left, I had to negotiate this difficult world for a young widow. At that time, I was posted in Bokaro Steel Plant, Jharkhand, and it wasn't easy for a young widow. I was 35, he was 40. And so I went through all the trauma of single parenting, financial hardships, relationship breakdowns. I mean, my I'm not ashamed to say it. my brothers-in-laws, whom I had brought up as my own children, just threw me out, you know. So there I was out in the world, and it was a very tough journey. And on top of that, I got my cancer. So the cancer, I think, was very, it was on the left side, it was close to my heart. I know it was due to grief. In 2013, when I had reared these two children up, got them married, made sort of a, transition from the label of poor widow to capable professional, cancer struck again. So it was unexpected, but this time I was a veteran, so I, I handled it, and here I am. So I think of it in color because I used a lot of emotional tools, which I would like to talk about later.
So Neelamji, where did you get the emotional tools that you're talking about? Want to hear more about it? What gave you the strength and the support to get over this and to navigate through the journey so well and so beautifully?
I don't know if it was well or not. Like today's Father's Day, I think nobody thinks of single women who have been mom and dad. I did bungle it up. I had no training in parenting. Sometimes I was being a father, sometimes I was being a mother. I know in hindsight I could have done things a little better, and but yes, I did my best. All I can say is, where did you get the strength? Kishan, I really think, however much support system a cancer fighter has, I think it is, you have to be your own cheerleader. I totally think nobody can come to your support if you treat it as a dis-ease, something that you are not at ease with. If you get a fighting spirit, I think you can handle it. So I think I depended a lot on my own emotional support.
Great, 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 great. Wow, that's amazing. And getting this emotional support is not a very easy thing because there are so many things happening around you, and there are people who the society has its own views, and there are other people who keep on saying things. How did you manage all of that and remain calm during those moments?
I think, the biggest tool that one can have to face this world. Of course, the world today is a frightening place. Everyone is going through emotional problems. The only tool I think that we need to have, whether you are survivors or not, is to create a very, very strong inner self. Once you have a strong inner self, the resilience that come what may, I'm going to fight it. So I will tell you of the biggest tool that I had, and I will continue to have. So my first cancer was why me kind of I was saying, why me? Why did this happen to me? And actually, my second cancer was try me, because by that time I had taken up Buddhism, and Nichiren Buddhism is all about winning. I had taken it up in 2005, and before that, people were saying, "Arey, vidwa ho gayi, ye to tumhara karam hai. हाँ, इसे ढो, सफेद पहनो, and इतना दुख लोगों ने निकाल दिया घर से, ये भी कर्म है." So I was not prepared to agree to all that. I mean, I was a globally educated woman, and I did not think that we have to surrender to what, something that is doled out to us from the universe. And that's where I met Buddhism, which says you can transform your karma right now in this lifetime, not in any future lifetime. And you try it, and just by chanting Namyo Renge Kyo with faith, you can turn any poison into medicine. So that's what I tried. And I have so many stories to talk about, so many victories that I had just by having faith in this Buddhism, which teaches that winning is the only way forward.
Very well, very true, and I am a live example of totally believe in it. I have gone through it, experienced it, और मैं यहाँ पे सबके साथ में share करना चाहूँगी. And I would also request Kishan and Neelam ji, if you both can also mix Hindi and English together, it will be great.
Sure.
तो इनफैक्ट जब मैं नितेश के साथ में यूएस थी ट्रीटमेंट के लिए, तो मुझे एक ऐसा टाइम पीरियड आया जहाँ पे हर मैसेज मेरा, जो भी मुझे स्ट्रेंजर्स मैसेज करते थे, इट वाज अबाउट बुद्धिज्म चैंटिंग नम्मे हो रहेंगे क्यों, एंड आई हैड नो आइडिया व्हाट इट इज. तो मैंने बहुत सारे लोग बहुत चीजें बता रहे थे, ये चैंट करो, वो करो, ये खाओ, वो, तो मैंने उसी तरीके से इग्नोर किया. लेकिन एक फेज ऐसा आया जहाँ पे मुझे मैसेज पढ़ने के पहले ही पता चल गया कि ओ माय गॉड, आई एम गोइंग टू ओपन दिस मैसेज एंड दिस मैसेज इज अबाउट बुद्धिज्म फॉर श्योर, एंड वही होता गया. फिर मुझे लगा नाउ आई हैव टू गो डीप इनटू इट, क्या है ये. फिर मेरे इंडिया के एक फ्रेंड ने जबरदस्ती यूएस में किसी को बोला कि तुम उसको मिलके आओ घर पे और उसको एक्सप्लेन करके आओ कि होता क्या है. So my dear friend from America, she came to home and उन्होंने हमें सबसे पहले इंट्रोड्यूस करवाया मुझे और नितेश को. People ask me often कि Dimple, that journey must have been very difficult for you. What was your biggest strength, or from where you were getting your strength, courage? I say I must have done, if not millions, but lakhs of Daimokus for sure, lakhs of chanting Namme Ho Renge Kyo for Nitesh for sure. And वो जो पूरा सोसाइटी था, कम्युनिटी था, वो हमारे लिए स्ट्रेंजर ही था वहाँ पे यूएस में. लेकिन सुबह शाम 15 लोग घर पे आएंगे, हम सबके साथ में चैंटिंग करेंगे और चले जाएंगे. नो एक्सपेक्टेशन, जस्ट प्रेइंग टुगेदर टू सेव दैट वन बुद्धा दैट सेव दैट वन लाइफ. और आई रिमेम्बर जब हम नए घर में शिफ्ट हुए थे, तो वन मेंबर फ्रॉम द फैमिली, फ्रॉम द बुद्धिज्म फैमिली, मासारू इज हिज नेम, he came and he was like, Dimple, तुम नई नई यहाँ पे शिफ्ट हुई हो. That was when we moved to our own home in US. You must be needing something. Shall I get something for you? And I couldn't drive there. और मेरे पास में इतना लंबा लिस्ट था नितेश के लिए ग्रोसरी लाने का, बिकॉज कैंसर पेशेंट्स की किचन एंड पेंट्री एवरीथिंग इज वेरी डिफरेंट. And I was like, yes, I do need help. And for me, that small help was like, this is what I need right now. That, so it was not just, I would say, spiritual support, but it was also mental, emotional support, motivational support, and help as well. So I don't know how the mystic law works, but it's beautiful. It has given me courage to go through the entire journey. And there is a beautiful book written by Daisaku Ikeda, The Unlocking Mysteries of Birth and Death. My favorite book, and I'm so glad that Nitesh, before he passed away, he read that book, highlighted many points, and then after his death, when I read that book again, मुझे लगा कि wow, I'm so happy कि नितेश ने ये book पढ़ा, because it talks so beautifully about life and death कि आपको फिर death का fear नहीं रहता है. So so thank you for sharing about the Buddhism practice, which has helped you as well. And one more thing to बाकी सब लोगों के साथ में मैं share करना चाहती हूँ कि जब मैं उस जर्नी से निकल रही थी नितेश के साथ में, 2 साल पहले की बात है, 2.5 साल पहले की, तो मुझे किसी ने मैसेज किया, और वो मैसेज का जो लिंक था वो नीलम जी की स्टोरी थी. Oh. Yes. So somebody messaged me that, Dimple, you should read Neelam Kumar's story, and she has conquered cancer twice, and she is a practitioner. And I read a lot about you at that time. And then I came back to India, and then okay, अपना नया चीजें शुरू हो गई and all. And then here today we are discussing about it, and very honored and happy to have you here with us.
Dimple, so heartwarming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Neelam ji. Actually, it has some mystic power, some mystic energy to bring together people, and it is beautiful to believe in something.
Kishan, can you be a little louder, please?
Yeah. Is it better now?
Yeah. Now it's better.
Yeah. Just say that it's so beautiful to believe in something that gives you so much of power to face everything with such courage, such strength, and it's really amazing. So
you know what happened? जब मेरा radiation हो रहा था, so I used to continuously chant. So Dr. Anand was doing the radiation, and he said कि मैडम आप ये क्या बड़बड़ाती रहती हैं? So I said, मैं समझाऊंगी after you see the result. And he said, रेडिएशन के बाद तो चेहरा भी काला हो जाता है, मुरझा जाना चाहिए, आपका तो नहीं हुआ. Then I introduced him to the Lotus Sutra and I told him, this is what it does. These are the, this is the mystic law. It completely, encompasses you, आपको wisdom, courage, and so much of joy it gives. So this is what it does.
Can you please, for the benefit of everyone, can you please explain the meaning of नम्य हो रहेंगे क्यों? What does it mean?
Sure. So नम्य हो रहेंगे क्यों के बहुत सारे मतलब हैं, but the easiest one, ऐसे बहुत profound है ये, but ये नम मतलब मैं नमन करता हूँ या करती हूँ. म्यो हो is my own life, and Renge is a lotus, and Kyo is the Lotus Sutra. So I dedicate my life to the Lotus Sutra. जैसे कमल कीचड़ के ऊपर खिलता है, नीचे में मड रहता है, मेरा खुद मेरी लाइफ जो है वो कमल जैसा ऊपर खिले. And of course there are many meanings, but this is a combination of a Sanskrit and a Japanese shlok. Why Japanese? Because India में it was born, but then यहाँ पे वो फिर वो दक्षिणा वक्षिणा वाला चलने लगा, वो ब्राह्मण पूजा चलने लगा, तो वो इंडिया में खत्म हो गया. And then it went to Japan, where it was condensed into हमारे यहाँ सर्व धर्म पुंडारनिका संहिता 28 चैप्टर्स थे, उसको कंसाइज करके नम्य हो रहेंगे क्यों में दिया गया, जो हम लोग अभी प्रैक्टिस करते हैं टू ट्रांसफॉर्म आवर कर्मा एंड टू रियलाइज हैप्पीनेस इन दिस लाइफ, नॉट ओनली फॉर आवरसेल्व्स बट दूसरों के लिए. ये अदर सेंट्रिक प्रेयर है.
योगेश भाई कुछ शेयर करना चाहते हैं, so I will just unmute him. Is it fine?
Sure.
Thank you. योगेश भाई प्लीज शेयर करिए. किसी ने unmute करें.
Namyoho Renge, just for information, when we walked in South Africa, we had a Japanese Buddhist monk with us.
Yeah.
And he would chant Namyoho Renge Kyo all the 12 hours we used to walk.
Wow.
We used to walk anywhere between 10 hours to 12 hours. And he will chant constantly this, irrespective of day, night, raining, sun, hot, anything. And like, when we went in Africa, people used to scare us. Okay, this is not a place to walk. You could be robbed, you could be murdered anytime. And every day we listen to various stories about murders and robbing and all. But sure, this guy chanting that, nobody touched us in that period. That's the power of Namyoho Renge. We experience ourselves.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah. And like Namyoho Renge Kyo, it is part of the Lotus Sutra written by Buddha. And I think many of the friends who are regular member of this, they would know we did gratitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So,
Vineet Saluja, you are there? Vineet?
Thank you.
Thank you, Yogesh bhai.
Yogesh bhai.
Yes, Neelam Didi, I am here. I'm listening to you.
Seeing you after 30 years.
Yeah. No, in fact, I saw your this in the Facebook, and I thought I'll definitely join this. In fact,
Oh,
Papa
bless.
is also joined in this call.
Oh, bless you. Bless him.
Uh,
Thank you so much for coming.
in fact, we have been always wanting to meet you since long, but when we were even in Bombay, we were wanting, but you were very busy, with your other assignment. So
I'm
it's not
so
kind of-
sorry. So sorry.
No.
I go into a shell when I'm writing,
Right.
Thank
I'm so
you.
sorry.
Happy to see you here with us. Thank you. So, Neelam ji.
Saluja, namaskar.
Yeah. So also, Neelam ji, can you please share from your experience? जब आप उस जर्नी से निकल रहे थे, so I'm sure कि काफी उतार चढ़ाव आए होंगे और आज हमारे साथ में बहुत मेंबर्स हैं जो आपको सुन रहे हैं, जो आपको देख रहे हैं और वो इस जर्नी से अभी निकल रहे हैं। तो और आपने तो उसको एक्चुअल में एक्सपीरियंस किया है, तो आपको उनके लिए जो अभी पेशेंट्स इस जर्नी से निकल रहे हैं उनके लिए आप बताएंगे कि व्हाट वर द थिंग्स व्हिच हेल्प्ड यू इन योर रिकवरी व्हेन यू वर गोइंग थ्रू दिस जर्नी?
So one thing I can tell you, आप किसी की और ना सुने, because when visitors come to meet you, they don't give you I mean the bedside etiquette for cancer survivors is terrible. You know, when I got the diagnosis and I went to my office, and it was a nice dress I was wearing, I had lipstick on, and people thought कि इनको क्या हो गया है ये diagnosis के बाद. But I was okay. I said, okay, I'll deal with it. And one person, one colleague actually came up to me, shook my hands and said, bon voyage, ma'am. It was lovely knowing you. So I said, excuse me, where am I going? I've decided to outlive you. So, you know, that is the kind of spirit that will keep you alive. लोग तो आपको इतनी कहानियां सुनाएंगे, मेरी चाची की भतीजी की बेटी को ऐसा हुआ, you know, but वो भी मर गई. So, you know, please do not listen to anyone. As I told you, invest in yourself. Apne build an inner core that is so strong that it is invincible, unshakable. Nobody can take that away from you. I had all, Dimple, you know, I had all kinds of people visiting me. People would come, आके बहुत रोते थे, रोना शुरू. I said, क्यों रो रहे हैं? You know, I had to console them. And there were many people जो आकर बोलते थे, अरे ये आपका पुराना कर्मा है ना, तो इसलिए आपको तो, you know, all that rubbish. And, you know, I had the mental strength to discard all that. So, जो अभी, those who are fighting, my earnest prayer to you, do not listen to any advice. ना लहसुन खाएं, ना तांबा सिर पर रखें, कुछ नहीं काम आएगा. जस्ट डॉक्टर की सलाह माने, दवाइयां ले और अपने आप पे अपने को बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग करें. then you will come out of the dark tunnel smiling. That is something I promise you.
Very well said. In fact, when we were going through the journey, many advices from different people, and you know, being a caregiver, now I can understand what Nitesh was going through. तो
Yeah.
जब मैं बोलती हूँ नितेश आप ये कर लो, अच्छा अब आपको कौन सी आंटी ने बोला है ये करने के लिए, तो he was like अब कौन से एंगल का नुस्खा लेके आई हो. So from a patient perspective, I completely understand too many advices, pre-fixings, and that is why one guideline of the healing circle is we don't advise or try to fix each other unless asked. So because it's individual journey, and we know that, you know, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, every individual is very different. Even no two cancer are same. Yeah, so we can learn from others' experiences, but we cannot simply replicate it and expect the same results and like that. So yeah, thank you.
नीलम जी, आपकी जो मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट लर्निंग्स होगी, जो लेसन्स है, जो आप सबसे ज्यादा शेयर करना चाहेंगे, वो क्या होंगे इस पूरी जर्नी से, जो आप मैसेज देना चाहते हैं?
So I will tell you about that learning later, Kishan. First, I want to tell you, when cancer struck me a second time, I realized that I was looking for motivation, and there was none. So I said, because I'm a reading and a writing person, I kept reading books. So I read the last lecture, classic, तीनों ये सब classics थे. The last lecture, He Dies. I read Grit and Grace, She Dies. I read Tuesdays with Maury, She Dies. I saw Anand, He Dies. I said, ये क्या हो रहा है? I have decided to live. तो मुझे तो मरना ही नहीं है, तो ये सब मैं देखकर क्या करूंगी? और जो अगल बगल में लोग आ रहे हैं वो इतनी नेगेटिविटी दे रहे हैं. So there I realized there were no happy books on cancer. So when I was getting my chemotherapy, right on the chemotherapy table itself, I asked my nurse to bring my laptop. She said, "आप क्या करेंगे, madam?" And that's how I punched out my book, to Cancer with Love, My Journey of Joy, in which I created an alter ego who was so brave. Then, Neelam was shaking with fright, and Carol was always giving her a lot of courage. And, all I had to do was follow my own script. Actually, I was quite surprised when Gay House picked it up as India's first happy book on cancer. And, it zoomed on to become such a huge bestseller around the world. People started writing to me, your little pink book, this one, your little pink book has given me such a vitamin shot of joy. I'm carrying it and going in for my, chemotherapy. So my learning at that time was that we are such a pessimistic nation most of the time. We really, really have to celebrate life, and we have to give others, we have to pass on a lot of joy to others. That was my first learning. The second learning was that not many people read. All right. So what I did was, I knew that attention span is very short, and dwindling readerships are there. People have the attention span of a goldfish. So I, changed this book into a graphic novel, which was this one, for which I did not have any money. Writers are poor people, by the way. So I was very happy, very grateful that, when I put it up on my social media, that I wanted to bring this book out. So two stalwarts, Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and Mr. Ratan Tata, who had read my book and were impressed, they funded it, and the book became, a bestseller again. That it gave a lot of courage to fighters. So that was my learning, that we have to pass on strength, happiness, and courage to each other.
Wow, that's so amazingly well said, Neelamji. Strength, courage, and
I can't hear you, Kishan.
Yeah, Neelamji, that's so amazingly said. Strength, happiness, and courage. And especially कैंसर जैसी फील्ड में काफी सारे मिथ्स होते हैं, लोगों को लगता है एंड वो मिथ्स क्या है कि आपको इमोशनली काफी ब्रेक डाउन कर लेते हैं, जबकि वो होते नहीं है सच. तो आपकी कुछ राय होगी उसके ऊपर अराउंड द मिथ्स?
My favorite topic, Kishan, because we are a nation of still serpents.
Yeah.
So I think there are so many myths. I'm going to tell you about breast cancer especially. First of all, why do women not go for their treatment early? Because we celebrate women as suffering, sacrificing, silent Indian goddesses. So, unka role family mein, most of the families, not all, the role is, if they get a funny feeling in their body, they do not go to, they postpone that until the husband's official tours are over, the son's board exams are over, the daughter's marriage is over. And by the time they find time for themselves, it is often too late. Sadly, breast cancer and cervical cancer can be treated if it is caught in the early stages. So the myth I will talk to you about, many people think it is infectious. So there's a village woman who came to me, and she said she was crying because her husband had thrown her out of the house because she had got infected with cancer. Promptly, he had got another younger woman. So that's a social evil. So many myths around it. Ye karna hai, wo nahi karna hai. But we don't, there are a lot of medicines. Medical science has made a lot of progress. But emotional empowerment, nothing has been done. I mean, very little has been done. I'm so glad that you all have started this circle, which actually is for emotional empowerment. The reason why I write my books is to become a voice for emotional empowerment and to stop all the myths and superstitions that abound around cancer. ये कोई कर्मा का दोष नहीं है कि कैंसर हो गया. And it is so rampant nowadays. Actually, India is sitting on a global epidemic at this point. So why so many superstitions surrounding it?
राइट एकदम सही नीलम जी. एंड काफी सारे बार ऐसा होता है कि सिम्टम्स आपको दिखते हैं बट फिर भी लोग नजरअंदाज कर लेते हैं, स्पेशली ब्रेस्ट कैंसर के केस में, जब आप चीज़ों आप आराम से आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हो. बट आई थिंक इंडिया में काफी, इनफैक्ट ग्लोबली भी काफी लोग हेल्थ को लोग टॉप प्रायोरिटी नहीं मानते हैं, और उस वजह से काफी चीजें जो अवॉइडेबल होती है वो अवॉइड नहीं कर पाते हैं, चीजें डीले पे डीले होती रहती है. तो इट्स रियली अमेजिंग आप जो वॉइस बन रहे हो सब लोगों का, to clarify all these myths and the goodness that you're bringing to actually eradicate all these problems and myths. It's really amazing, Neelam ji.
In
Thank
fact,
you so much.
recently हमें एक पेशेंट के बारे में पता चला. तो पेशेंट के ब्रदर इज आवर गुड फ्रेंड. तो उन्होंने बताया कि मेरी सिस्टर को 4th स्टेज ब्रेस्ट कैंसर है. तो मैंने बोला डायरेक्टली 4th स्टेज, क्योंकि ब्रेस्ट कैंसर तो अर्ली स्टेज में डिटेक्ट हो जाता है. तो अपेरेंटली पता चला कि वुमेन न्यू दैट शी हैज सम काइंड ऑफ लंप इन द ब्रेस्ट. वो बिहार में रहती हैं. बिकॉज ऑफ मिथ्स एंड नोशंस अराउंड कैंसर, जो अपनी बॉडी को, इमेज को लेके बुरा फील करते हैं और लोग क्या सोचेंगे, इसके लिए उन्होंने वो टॉलरेट किया और उसको किसी से शेयर नहीं किया until it became very much painful. And then डॉक्टर को दिखाया एंड अभी डॉक्टर ने बोला इट्स टर्मिनली स्टेज 4 कैंसर. जबकि cervical cancer, breast cancer, oral cancer, easy to detect, easy to treat, but still
Absolutely.
some of the myths around it. Yeah.
You know, my driver one day came to me. His wife was working as a cook. So he told me कि मैम वो तो बड़ी बेशरम हो गई है. I said क्या हुआ? तो वो तो अपना वुमन थिंग को डॉक्टर को दिखाना चाहती है. So you know, of course I took her to a doctor and I sat him down and told him how important a woman's health is, and sure enough she was detected with cancer. You know, so it's a shame, the shame surrounding showing your body to a doctor kills so many women. And really, really, to all the men who are here, I want to plead to you, make the health of the woman in your home your top priority. All the women watching this, please consider, please be selfish, make your own health your own priority. Thank you.
Yeah.
And society, please stop sensationalizing a woman's body, especially cinema. I've been fighting against that cause, against item numbers. We have to de-glamorize and demonetize the breast.
Right.
And in fact, many people can relate here on this talk कि कैंसर को भी मूवीज में हमेशा डेथ की तरह ही दिखाया है. That I lost my wife due to cancer. He has terminally brain cancer and then he dies. So and we know that we have many conquerors between us. You are like example of that. यहाँ पे अतुल जी हमारे साथ में, who is 3-time cancer survivor, cancer winner.
Wow.
And many other people on this call. We have Rohit Khanna, Abhishek Tripathi and many others. तो I don't know कि हमें मूवी में ऐसा क्यों दिखाया जाता है कि कैंसर का मतलब डेथ है. While today the scenario has changed, people live with 4th stage for 10 years, 15 years. People have recovered from 4th stage, and it's not that scary as it was long back. So, and
I wish some because media has such an impact on the people. Why is nobody making a happy film on cancer? Because more and more survivors are now living very joyful and very meaningful lives. All the people who you mentioned, their life is so meaningful. In fact, life after cancer is more meaningful than the one before it.
Yeah. And those people, I mean, I would love to, after our conversation, I would love to invite, let's say, Gauri Bhatnagar. They are the examples, we get inspiration from Atulji and others. And when I ask people, so we started this program called Cancer Healing Journeys, so that we can spread positive, inspiring stories to others who are going through the similar journey. तो जब मैंने पूछा सबसे कि आपको how was your life before and after cancer? उन्होंने बोला कि we thank God that we got cancer because अब हमें actual में life का meaning पता चला है. अभी हमें लाइफ का पर्पस पता चला है, वरना तो बस जी रहे थे लेकिन अब अच्छे से जी रहे हैं. एंड वन ब्यूटीफुल कोट आई रेड टुडे मॉर्निंग, आप सबके साथ में मैं शेयर करना चाहूंगी कि वी से दैट वी गेट टू लिव ओनली वंस, जबकि एक्चुअली यू लिव एवरी डे, यू डाई ओनली वंस.
बिल्कुल.
It's not like you get to live only once, you live every
Absolutely.
day and you die only once. So that changed entire notion around life and death. So that touched my heart very deeply, that yes, we live every day, we live every moment, every second. And hats off to all the conquerors who are here with us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, in fact,
Anyone who wants to commit suicide, I want to take them on a journey to Tata Memorial Hospital. You will see how people are fighting for even one day of life. People have no business to take their life. Life is so precious. It is the biggest gift that anyone can get. So I deal with, as a life skills coach, I deal with a lot of people who go through a lot of turbulent emotions. So, when people say I love you to each other, I say, chal mere saath Tata Memorial Hospital. Can your love survive this kind of a test when your partner gets this? So, it's an eye-opener.
wow. In fact, मैंने आज ही बहुत ही प्यारा quote सुना था, and courtesy नीलम जी, that winter always leads to spring.
Yeah.
वो लाइफ में आपके कितनी ही प्रॉब्लम्स हो, कितने ही खराब दिन क्यों ना हो, it will have to end up in a happy moment. You just need to hold on tight during those tough moments, tough hours, and let it pass. Just gracefully embrace it, and eventually you will meet the happy part of your life.
Absolutely.
Such a beautiful thing, Neelam ji.
Winter always turns to spring is a Buddhist quote, and truly, you have to, even cherry blossoms, अगर उनपे winter का what is it called, बहुत ज़्यादा अगर cold नहीं पड़े तो वो अच्छे से blossom नहीं हो पाते. So this test from the universe has to be passed. We cannot fail this test.
Right, beautiful.
Wow.
So, नीलम जी, आपके इतनी अच्छी जो आप since now you're a life coach, so I wanted to understand कि आपने अपना पूरा करियर वगैरह छोड़ दिया and आप एक life coach बने हो. What made you leave your such a good career and become a life coach?
So after 30 years of being in a very good position, I felt, see, I had lost the love of my life, and now I wanted to give back to society. And then I studied what is the area in which I can contribute. And I found that I had, because I was the communications chief, I was already taking many classes in emotional empowerment. So when, 16 years back, when I took up life coaching, a whole new world opened out to me. I began to understand, how much change one person can make in your life. So there have been cases which, of course, due to client confidentiality, I cannot disclose. But yes, because right now I am at RN Kothar, we prevented lots of suicides, lots of teenage pregnancies, lots of marriage breakups, lots of emotional breakups. So I think, thankfully, in this lockdown, I think what has been thrown center stage is life coaching, because everyone is going through a lot of emotional turmoil, and you need someone, just one person, not necessarily your spouse, to share everything without someone who is not going to be judgmental about it. So it is a phase. And just as the moon has its phases, our life also has phases. If somebody can handhold you during your tough times, while you are in the dark tunnel, everyone can come out and see the bright light. But yes, you do need that one person. That is why life skills coaching, I think, is really important. I get a lot of private clients on life skills 638 at gmail.com. And it's amazing how quickly people recover also. Because I think sharing and caring is a very human thing. And everyone is waiting to be understood. So it has been the most impacting part of my life that I've been able to help so many people and are continuing to do so. I get helped, in fact. Yeah, it's the other way around also.
Wow, Neelamji, that is amazing. And rightly said, you need to have that one hand to hold to whenever you're feeling alone. Maybe even if you're not feeling alone, somebody to have with you. And fortunately, most of us are lucky to have that one person, be it a spouse, be it parents, be it sibling, be it children. And it's really amazing to have somebody with you in this journey. And if you don't know somebody, there are many organizations that work need your help and your aid. And it's really amazing how everybody gets together in to help you overcome it, to help you conquer it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's a really amazing thing. So I also wanted to ask you, Neelamji, especially regarding your book, your work with Manisha Koirala. So while we think that every cancer journey is unique and everybody has their own way of handling their journey, of coming through it, of navigating through it, do you think that film stars have a different journey of cancer than other people? What are your thoughts about this?
So I want to tell you that is another myth. Uh, Film stars go through the same emotions, they have the same fears, they have the same anxieties, but some of them have a lot more pressure, because the pressure, I think, is a very physical kind of a thing. They have to weigh a certain amount, they have to look good every time. So that pressure is it can become very nerve wracking. That does not apply to Manisha. Manisha, I wrote this book for her, which is called Healed: How Cancer Gave Me a New Life. And within 2 weeks, the book sold 22,470 copies.
Wow.
Wow.
And it became an international success. And it showed that, Manisha and I were toying, what kind of story should I tell? Should it be about her films? Of course, I have talked a little about what she felt during the, when did that mental breakdown happen? In what scene, when she was shooting, what scene? But she is a strong woman. And suddenly, to be diagnosed with terminal ovarian cancer can be a huge, huge hit when you are such a beautiful star, when you are worshipped by everyone. So we decided that I will tell the truthful story. I will deal with all her vulnerabilities, all her fears, her anxieties. In fact, I would like to tell you how the book starts. The book starts with, I don't want to die. I texted my friend in desperation. The feeling of being engulfed by darkness was fast descending on me. Even as I choked and struggled to fight it, darkness clutched at my throat, cutting off the light. Then it traveled swiftly, swooping ruthlessly through my body, and finally settled into the pit of my stomach. It says, the fear of being abandoned had chased me all my life. This fear, however, was unlike anything I had experienced before. It was the fear of being abandoned by life itself. So it's a very real book. I've talked about the chemotherapy stage, how it reacted on her. And we decided, she said, how are you going to describe it? I said, I'm going to describe it like wolves running through your bloodstream, yapping away at all your organs. And that particular page has been quoted in so many newspapers and magazines because it is very powerful. The only reason why I could write this book so successfully is because I am a survivor myself. And it was experienced pain that I was sharing. In fact, when I put the last full stop, I was drained out emotionally. And both of us, she and I, we went for our checkups to the doctor because it was reliving that same experience. For me, it was, before this, I had written a happy book. And this was a real book, so yeah, but when it became an international bestseller, I think both of us were singing the same song from her movie, Aaj Main Upar Aasmaan Neeche.
आज मैं आगे जमाना है पीछे. Wow.
Amazing. There's one question from Naman. I think you already answered, but I'll just repeat it. Amazing. I wondered, how was it possible for you to completely understand her?
Whom? Understand?
Manisha.
Manisha.
Okay, I spent, you will be surprised when Penguin offered me this book and Manisha said, Neelam must write it. I did not want to go through that pain, and when I write, I put my entire being into it. I cut myself off from the world and I become that person. That's why it is very, very draining for me. So I practically lived in her house during that period. And that period was 2.5 months only. So I wrote this book under a lot of pressure in 2.5 months because I had gone through a similar experience myself, Naman. Yeah, it was difficult understanding, but it was empathy. Again, I think empathy taught me to understand her. Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. I'm sure reliving that experience was not that easy. In fact, मैं भी अपना every 2 weeks I am recording my own journey of those those 2 years, and after that, so in fact this time I skipped a week because I feel emotionally I'm not ready to do that yet. This week was a bit emotionally heavy as well. So jab main and thanks to Kishan for his support. He gives me all the support when I record that because he knows that I have to go back into those memories and then read and then see his pictures and then many more things come. I read his emails or Nitesh और मेरा जो उस वक्त conversation हुआ था, and sometimes I read and I wonder कि what was the purpose. मतलब बहुत सारे questions आते हैं. तो जब नितेश को कैंसर डायग्नोज हुआ था और when we got together and then when he was at end of life, when we knew that he's going to die, though until the last moment we never accepted it, कभी accept नहीं किया था इस चीज को. तो when he passed away, after that for 1 month I was cut off from everybody, though my mom was there with me, but I was not even talking to her. तो and तब जो मेरा self reflection हो रहा था, और I would record videos during that time, just few hours after he passed away, after a few days after that, because I really wanted to communicate so many things. Because सिर्फ 1.5 साल के अंदर you a stranger become your husband and then he dies, it was not acceptable, or it was not really, I was still in denial. And gradually जब मुझे समझ में आया कि what was the purpose of we two coming together like strangers after his cancer diagnosis, and then the journey began. So what I understood from my experience is that और बहुत लोग इसमें relate भी कर पाएंगे कि it was all a plan of a higher power which we don't know. We see only this much while the entire scenario is this much. So we came together, and you know, one person a few days back explained me कि गुरु का जो स्थान होता है, a mentor, a guru comes in your life, gives you a direction and then goes. तो उन्होंने बोला मे बी नितेश का पर्पस आपकी लाइफ में आने का, आपका नितेश की लाइफ में आने का, आपको एक नया पर्पस देने का था लाइफ के लिए, दैट हिज लाइफ मूव्स ऑन. ही उनको जितना भी टाइम यहाँ पे स्पेंड करना था उन्होंने किया है स्पेंड. उस पे ना मेरा कंट्रोल है, ना आपका है, ना डॉक्टर का है, ना किसी हीलर का है. उनका जब टाइम आया वो चले गए, बट देन वो क्या हमें देके गए. सो the day he went to ICU in the night, in the same morning I resigned, and I had no idea कि वो ICU में जाएंगे, because I knew that कि now after going through this experience I am not going to go back to the corporate world and doing the same thing I was doing before. Now there is a higher purpose of this life, why I was chosen, why he was chosen, and now why Kishan is chosen. So and that's how I could, you know, go through that grieving phase, or could come to the understanding of Nitesh's death. कि और जब वो लाइफ एंड डेथ वाली बुक पढ़ी मैंने, तो मुझे समझ में आया, और बुद्धिज्म की मैंने और भी काफी बुक्स पढ़ी, तो मुझे समझ में आया कि death is not just the human body, it's beyond that. And that, you know, reminds me of Rumi's poem on death, which I would like to read for all of you. On the day I die, when I'm being carried toward the grave, don't weep, don't say he is gone, he is gone. Death has nothing to do with going away. The sun sets and the moon sets, but they are not gone. Death is a coming together. The tomb looked like a prison, but it's really release and union. The human seed goes down in the ground like a bucket into the well where Joseph is. It grows and come up full of some unimagined beauty. Your mouth closes here and immediately opens with the shout of joy there.
So lovely.
So whenever I think about my experience with Nitesh, and I'm sure the last few weeks of his end of life, उस समय वो बहुत difficult था. उस समय बहुत रोई भी हूँ, हॉस्पिटल के कॉर्नर में बैठ के बहुत कुछ किया था. लेकिन when I look back now, I get a smile on my face whenever I think about those memories. So when Naman asked this question to you कि आपने जब मनीषा जी के साथ में काम किया था, तो how it all happened and कैसा experience था, so I think this was my experience now that I'm reliving those memories. So thank you for
So lovely, Dimple. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
I totally.
I really think, you know, that we have to discover our own purpose in life. And the only space we have to do that is the short interval between life and death. So I think your purpose was to understand cancer, to build this community, and meet such a wonderful man like Kishan, who is like-minded and shares so much with all of us.
Yeah, thank you. So Neelam ji, आपको अगर if any advice you have to give to caregivers, because caregivers का ही उतना ही important role होता है जितना कि पेशेंट का होता है. बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली यहाँ पे हम लोग इंडिया में जो मैंने देखा है, केयरगिवर्स को उतना इम्पोर्टेंस या उतनी केयर नहीं मिलती है. सो व्हाइल दे आर द वंस हु आर ओवर स्ट्रेस्ड, ओवर बर्डन, क्योंकि घर का, बाहर का, बच्चों का, ऑफिस का, फाइनेंसिस का, डॉक्टर्स का, एवरीथिंग दे हैव टू सी. तो आपका केयरगिवर्स के लिए क्या सजेशन, एडवाइस होगा?
I don't know that much about cancer caregivers. I just know that it's a very, very, very tough journey, 24/7. But I will speak from the experience of looking after my bedridden 91-year-old mother. So, you know, I look after her, and it is emotionally, physically, financially very draining. It is like walking the razor's edge. In a minute, someone has to be ready to jump onto an ambulance, take her to the hospital, be there, bring her back, and keep aside all the urgent things that you had promised. So the only thing that gives me strength is my strong love for her, and the fact that, again, Buddhism teaches me that the biggest debt of gratitude one has is to one's parents. So I'm just trying to do my noble duty of returning, repaying that debt. It's a very tough journey. Caregivers, those of you who are looking after um, those of you who are looking after sorry who are looking after patients. But all I can say is, please spend some time on yourself. Give yourself me time, whether it is going to a parlor, whether it is seeing a movie. Of course, now the scenario has changed, but just pamper yourself, nurture yourself, because unless your own cup is full, how can you pour out of it? Please take care of yourselves. That is the most important thing.
Wow, that's really true. I would also like to hear from Dimple about her thoughts on caregiving.
Yeah, I mean, when I was the caregiver, and again, I would say most of the caregivers here can relate, that we want to be the superhero, the superwoman, कि मुझे ही सब कुछ करना है अपने patient के लिए, अपने loved one के लिए, and we want help, but we don't ask for it, or maybe we want to do everything by ourselves. So a few things, if I will revert, अगर help मिल रही है, please take help from others, please ask for help, because आपको खुद को अपना ध्यान रखने की जरूरत है. Remember, मैं जब इंडिया में थी तो यूएस के ट्रीटमेंट का प्लान कर रही थी, तो डे नाइट के डिफरेंस की वजह से I had to remain up at night as well for weeks. तो I had burnt out, though I was on sabbatical था मेरा 6 महीने का, but still बहुत ज़्यादा many things were going on. So I never focused on my own self care, because जब भी मैं अगर आधे घंटे का भी ब्रेक लूंगी तो गिल्ट आता था कि oh my god, how can I take a break, how can I sleep in the afternoon, how can I think about eating ice cream. समझ रहे हैं आप? तो मेरे को वो एक गिल्ट की तरह आने लगा. And now that I'm on other side, and now I tell other caregivers that it's not guilt, while if you take care of yourself, तो आप patient का ज़्यादा अच्छे से ध्यान रख पाएंगे, and you completely deserve that, because it's a long journey. We are not looking for 6 months told by doctor. We are not looking for 1 year or 2 year survival. We are looking for long term. So बहुत जरूरी है कि आप भी अपना ध्यान रखें. और मैंने नहीं रखा उस टाइम पे, but I have paid for it, I think, in some or other ways on my health part. But very important, because काम तो हमेशा ही रहेगा. What is important right now is patient's health and your health. उससे बढ़कर कुछ भी नहीं है. Other thing which I for the society or for the other extended family members, I would say कि आपको बहुत advices मिलेगी. कोई बोलेगा ये करो, तो आपकी में भी mother in law बोलेगी अच्छा हाँ ये करो ये करो. अरे नहीं, there has to be like one person who decides what to do for the patient. 10 people cannot take the decision. तो ये बहुत क्लियर है, बहुत जरूरी क्लियर करना, वरना क्या होगा कि पेशेंट वो फिर आपसे बातें नहीं करेंगे, और उनको क्योंकि दे आर इनटू देयर ओन वर्ल्ड ऑलरेडी, एंड उसके बाद में सो मेनी पीपल गिव देम एडवाइस, दे रियली डोंट वांट टू टॉक टू एनीबॉडी. और कोई हस्बैंड वाइफ कुछ मैटर नहीं करता है फिर. तो आपको जो इतने लोग, जैसे नीलम जी ने शुरुआत में बता दिया था सोसाइटी के बारे में, सो I know many people here hate society, क्योंकि सोसाइटी आते लगता है लोग तो बोलेंगे, लोगों का काम है कहना. But this is the cancer we are talking about. So you need to see what you want to do. There are hundreds of therapies one can do in cancer. There are many types of medical treatment one can do in cancer. You take multiple opinions to see what is good for you. As Neelam ji said, कि listen to your doctor, go for medical treatment, and उसके साथ में you see what are complementary therapies you want to go for. चाहे वो lifestyle changes हो, चाहे वो healing हो, या फिर chanting हो, या फिर महामृत्युंजय करना है, या फिर book पढ़ना है, या कुछ भी करना है आपको. So because every journey is different, so you decide what are therapies or treatment you want to go for, which will help you in your healing, and that's the difference between a cure and a healing. So that's my experience. Neelam ji, what all things helped you apart from the support and the Buddhism practice and your family support? Any other lifestyle changes or anything else you did in your journey?
So I think the lifestyle changes is I had made a lot of friends. Okay, so I think people you can just laugh with is so important. हमें हंसने में भी गिल्ट लगता है, So that is really wrong, because I think the biggest support system, is a group of friends with whom you can be yourself. So luckily, I have that group, and I have my sisters who are quite crazy. So even when they came for supporting me during chemotherapy, one was making a Mughlai dish, the other was fighting with her कि नहीं आप ये नहीं बनाओ, आप बिरयानी बनाओ. So it was crazy, but they are so lovable, that whole joyous atmosphere has been my support system. I tried not to give in to negativity. It would be a lie to say that I did not feel sad. I did feel sad sometimes. I worried about my children, yes. But at that time, I had made a vow that zindagi milegi to I will make it meaningful. Aise hi nahi gavaungi. So I'm trying to live, the years ahead by giving back as much as I can through my motivational talks, through my books, and through my life skills coaching, as well as adversity coaching, which I do.
Wow. So Neelam ji, when your treatment got over, आपके काफी सारे changes हुए होंगे. How did you cope with it? How did you deal with it? And how did you manage to come out from it?
Sorry, I didn't hear that. When you?
So आपका जब treatment खत्म हुआ था, तब आपकी body में काफी सारे changes हुए होंगे, जैसे hair loss, eyebrows वगैरह नहीं होना. तो आपने उसको कैसे लिया और आपने कैसे? Today you look beautiful. I want to hear about your.
Bless you. I will tell you something. The first thing, society is very, very intrusive. वो आपसे ऐसे question, they are not worried whether you fought a battle with cancer. One woman came up to me and she said, did they chop it off about the breasts? And when I had to reassure her, lump nikala, breast theek hai. So then she's broke into a smile. People can ask you the weirdest of questions. So yes, there came a time when I had no hair, no eyebrows, no eyelashes. What did I do? I got up on stage. And I got up on stage and I talked to people to take cancer seriously and to take the health of the women in their homes seriously, and to understand that cancer is a very, very expensive treatment. And therefore, iske liye the government has to do something to make it affordable. And whatever I could, I spoke on stage. At the same time, I was releasing my books. My book releases were not just standing there and asking Mr. Amitabh Bachchan to release it. No, I had a full panel of doctors, oncologists from various cities, and the audience was 300 people who would all be asking questions to those oncologists, precious, valuable advice, which usually Janta does not get. I also had alternative therapists, people who would tell them about alternative therapy. So that is how I used my time when I had no hair, no eyelashes, no eyebrows. The physical body, I think, is nothing. I think whether what you look like is so temporary. Mr. Saluja has seen me in my youth. I was his neighbor in Bokaro. I used to be a very pretty girl, but you sacrifice that to time. And what remains is the purity of your soul. So I think the beauty passes from your face to your heart. As long as we have an expansive heart which can give to others, I think you remain a beautiful person. Thank you.
Neelam Didi, you are still extremely, extremely beautiful, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm seeing you after 30 years, but I can definitely relate immediately, like the way you used to take classes of ours, especially of my sister, and in the school. And then when you joined Steel Authority of India Limited, I remember all those days.
Those were the days, absolutely.
Those were the days, absolutely. So although my dad has dropped off from the call, but then he was generally saying that thank from my side to
Thank him to come for coming
Yeah.
over, please, Vineet. Huh?
yeah, and I would request you to share your number also, mobile number on Facebook or wherever.
Sure, I will.
Yeah,
Okay.
glad about the happy small reunion after 30 years.
Yeah.
Imagine, huh?
Uh,
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 I was teaching.
Neelam Didi is actually my super senior from St. Xavier's, Bokaro.
Okay,
Uh,
great, great.
Uh,
We have next question from Rohit. When you help so many people through counseling and listening to their stories, how you keep yourself positive amidst all these things?
So I think I said that in the beginning. We have to dip into ourselves. And कई लोग meditation करते हैं. For me, meditation does not work because it is only about yourself. Buddhism works because it is about others. The moment I chant 2 hours daily, not to be, it's not a show off thing. It is just that it gives me a lot of strength. When I become strong, only then can I handle other people's grief, other people's problems. And I try not to speak from my wisdom. I try to speak from the Buddha wisdom. So that whatever, we have 10 worlds that we inhabit. Hell, hunger, anger, animality are the lower worlds. Learning, heaven, rapture, learning, realization are the middle worlds, and the top worlds are Bodhisattva and Buddhism. So when we chant, we try to bring out the Buddha within ourselves. And that is what I work very hard towards. I don't know, I'm not successful every day and every time, but I definitely work very hard towards it. And that's what keeps me going.
Wow, wow. Neelam ji, can you also share what books are you working on right now?
Sure. So, I want to tell you, when I was admitted, so I felt that intelligent people need a workbook. My mind was empty, and there are relatives who sit outside with nothing to do. So, based on my experience, this again was funded by Mr. Amitabh Bachchan and Mr. Ratan Tata. So, I created this personal growth coloring workbook, which is called I'm a Sea of Possibilities. Many people start, again, it was India's first. I realized that self-help books are the need of the hour. I used to write earlier fiction with Mr. Khushwant Singh, as Vineet knows. I've written the bestseller with Mr. Khushwant Singh. But after cancer struck me, I realized no more fiction. Let me get to non-fiction, which is real life. So now there are 2 books in the press. One is called Yes, I Can, and that is 14 inspirational stories about real life heroes. And you'll be surprised. There are cancer victors also. There's a woman who went through gang rape, and she has bounced back as a celebrity. So, I have just documented stories of people who went through the worst adversity in their life and emerged stronger than they were before. So that book is coming out. And then there's another life skills book, which based on our folk tales. Why should we look westward? India has enough rich culture from which we can dig out, and there are so many lessons to be learned. That's one book that's coming out, and I'm working on another motivational book now. So that means there are 11 books now. But the number doesn't matter. It is just that it should inspire and motivate many, many people long, long after I'm gone.
Wow. Neelam ji, we are really blessed to have books coming from you, because these books are not simply text written on paper, but these are like motivational, inspirational prose that really keeps us moving ahead in life.
Yeah.
And it really makes us feel after reading a book that obstacles are only opportunities in disguise.
Absolutely.
So it's
Absolutely.
really amazing to read.
So opportunities are obstacles in disguise because, you know, I was educated in Russia and America. I mean, in Russia at that time. I did not know English. So when I went to school, my teacher, she said to me, "I'm wood sitting on wood," which you shared with everyone. So I really thank her, because had she not said that, I would not have brought out 10 books, all in English, and most of them bestsellers. So every opportunity, every adversity is actually an opportunity in disguise. Even cancer. Cancer is a huge opportunity to dip inside ourselves and bring the warrior out and decide, what am I going to give back to this world?
Wow, wow.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. And many so we get many volunteers request, or even either they are cancer conquerors, or they are ex caregivers, or they are currently going through the treatment. And fortunately or unfortunately, the space in which me and Kishan we are working, it is cancer. And हम सब चाहे कोई भी हो, any religion, any region, any socio-economic status, कैंसर का नाम सुन के सबका ऐसा हो जाता है कि वाओ, मतलब कि ओ आप कैंसर में काम कर रहे हैं, सबसे पहले सबका यही होता है, because it's a mixed emotions, mixed feelings, mixed things. It's you cannot run it like a corporate business, you cannot do complete charity, but you have to maintain a balance. So I forgot what I was sharing actually. I actually forgot what I was sharing, but yeah, I'm sorry.
So we also have PK Pathak ji who wants to share with us an experience. Pathak ji, if you could please
Yeah.
mute it you.
Yeah. So someday I will certainly tell the whole story of mine. Very few people are aware of that I have been suffering from multiple myeloma for last 5 years, because I chose not to be gathering sympathy or gathering people's attention on it, because when everyone asks you, "Aap kaise hain?" and you are sick, it makes you more sicker, right? So that's why I didn't made it public. But one thing which has very recently happened, and I thought I must tell it to all the people, those who are connected today. I have not actually, I logged in late today. So not in context of what Madam was talking about, little out of context, but I think it is important for the people, those who are getting treated for cancer. So I have been under treatment for last 5 years in one of the best hospital of this country, and with a very acclaimed oncologist. And I have gone through autologous stem cell transplant, and my cancer came back after 18 months of my transplant. For some reason, because my son has migrated out of country, and I left Bombay and came back to Hyderabad on last Sunday to stay with my daughters, those who are here. And so I had to consult a local doctor. Having spent 36 years in pharmaceutical industry and worked in 70 plus countries of the world, I have enough amount of experience in terms of doctors, hospitals, patient, and I didn't ever know that I would have to deal with cancer. I have a few years back, just a year before I got diagnosed, I have traveled to 18 cancer specialized hospital of Germany, and seen how the various alternative treatments and things are being done. So why I'm giving you this background, that even if someone is knowledgeable, can also get into sometimes a very surprising situation. So I called one of my very close friend, a doctor who is a very senior person in Hyderabad, and he referred me to a doctor. I'm also not taking the name of the doctor and name of the hospital. If anyone interested can contact me in person, and I would tell him the details. So I had around 500 pages of reports of my 5 years of treatment, and the very busy very acclaimed oncologist has just spent 3 hours listening and making note of case history. In 5 years, my treating doctor in Mumbai have not given 3 hours. I have calculated, if I will jot down all the interaction in 5 years, and I was visiting thrice in a week, thrice in a month in the hospital, you can understand. So it's very important that sometimes you need to get second opinion. You need to, so I was very fortunate that this gentleman, this doctor, not only studied entire report of mine, when he asked first the question that how many people in your family had the cancer, I said no. Nobody, I said. And then when he kept on probing, then I recalled my father himself had recovered from prostate cancer. He was under treatment for 10 years in Tata Memorial. And then the names started popping in. And then I told almost 10 names in between my mother's side and my father's side, those who have suffered from cancer in my own knowledge. And then he told me that, look, I have a good news to tell you that you need not continue any chemotherapy anymore. And for the time being, my recommendation would be that it is more risky for you to visit hospital during this COVID time than that of getting treated, and your condition is completely in control. But I would also tell you that one small mistake which has happened in entire treatment of yours is that when you have gone through autologous stem cell transplant, as per your body weight, the amount of melphalan which was supposed to be given to you was 420 mg, and you have been given 250 mg. And that would have been the basic reason for your cancer to come up so soon. Because in most of the case in which I do transplant, it is at least four years remission is a standard outcome with a patient of your age who got diagnosed at 53 years of age. And based on your report, I can tell you that you have got diagnosis within the 5 months of onset of the disease. Therefore, you have been lucky to get the treatment on time. But if this mistake would not happen, so why am I telling this story to every one of us? That I believed in my doctor 200%, right? And I know that he might not have done it deliberately, okay? But one thing is very essential while selecting a doctor, that you should choose a doctor who should certainly listen to you, who carefully takes the case study, and who has who is not in too much of hurry because of too many patients to see, and you end up into I would have spent, because I was been given to I was on a medicine which has been invented just in 2016 in US FDA approval was been given, and every month course of treatment was 3,50,000 for one set of medicine, and I am on that medicine for last 2 years. And so the kind of money which has gone into it, you can realize. I also know that how in cancer treatment, because in the other side of the industry, I fully know that how the cancer patients have been exploited, okay? And how a very affordable treatment becomes absolutely unaffordable, and so many lives are lost. So I spoke once to Dimple that I would like to actually contribute at that area where my experience and knowledge would be helpful. And once again, this experience I wanted to share only because I, being an aware patient, have also gone through this kind of challenge. So I would recommend to rest of the people, those who are struggling with cancer, to be a little more cautious in that area.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much
giving me the time to tell you.
Advice.
Valuable advice.
Yeah. So we have a question, Neelamji, from Atul Goel. How did you get introduced to Buddhism? And out of all the teachings, what was the main thing that attracted you towards it? I'm asking you because I'm living in Japan, and most of the Japanese do not believe in any religion.
Okay. So this is a philosophy. This is not a religion. And I got introduced to it 2005. I run creative writing classes. And, you know, at the beginning, I was sharing the horror script of my life. And there is one lady who asked me, Veena Barua, God bless her. She asked me, would you like to change your karma? I said, that's not possible. How can one change one's karma? She said, try it. If it doesn't work for you, you leave it. And but you, in the period that you try, you have to see your biggest dream, and you have to challenge yourself to really chant towards that dream. So I had come new to Bombay, and I you know, I dreamt. I said, you mean I can get a house here in Bombay, you know, under the Bombay sky? She said, yes, why not? So she said, give yourself 6 months of really hard chanting. And मैंने कहा कि चलो कर लेते हैं, मेरा क्या जाता है? You know, I started chanting, and you know, during that period itself, what happened is that it's a very mystic way. I was just passing by, you know, a place in Malad, and I saw this beautiful flat, and I said, anyway, the story is a bit too long, but it just fell into my budget, which was nothing. And I took a loan, and the person said, by 6:30, if you give 60,000, this was way back in 2005, then we can you know, book the house for you. So I got that 60,000 by going to SBI and with no papers, and by saying that I was Chief of Communications in Steel Authority of India Limited, but I had no papers at all. I got that. So thoda belief us samay lagne laga. And then I said to her, let me make it more difficult. Can I get a house with a swimming pool? And actually the house got shifted, and there was a swimming pool in the you know, premises. And then after that, I kept on chanting harder, and I had so many victories. What attracted me to Buddhism is there were no rituals. Paisa adan pradan nahi hota, and I did not have to go anywhere. I could do it right here at my own place, in my time, just by dipping into myself. For me, being a Vidwa has been a very difficult journey, especially in Bihar. So, you know, when here it was a completely enveloping family, which said, what you are does not matter, what you do matters. I got so much of love, and you know, my 15 to 16 years have been absolutely filled with one victory after another. That's how I got there. And the fact that you can change it here and now, that enchanted me a lot.
Wow, thank you for sharing the amazing experiences of your practice, and likewise, I have gone through the similar miraculous experiences with Nitesh during this journey. So thanks to all the people who brought me into this practice. And I don't know how the mystic law works, but 1 in 2 people I meet, I connect to is into this practice. तो अब तो किशन भी okay, so नीलम जी भी practice में, okay, so ये भी practice में, like this. So yeah, and today some people are talking about right doctor, second opinion, not ignoring sign and symptoms and other things. So just want to tell you that at zenonco.io we connect with the right doctor based, you know, your because हर एक कैंसर टाइप बहुत अलग होता है, हर एक कैंसर का सर्जरी ट्रीटमेंट भी बहुत अलग होता है. सो इट्स रियली इंपॉर्टेंट कि आप राइट डॉक्टर से ओपिनियन लें, मल्टीपल डॉक्टर से ओपिनियन लें, बिकॉज इट्स इरिवर्सिबल डिसीजन. सो अगर किसी को मेडिकल ट्रीटमेंट में कोई भी गाइडेंस चाहिए, एडवाइस चाहिए, तो आप मुझे कांटेक्ट कर सकते हैं और हम आपको राइट डॉक्टर से कनेक्ट भी करवा देंगे. सो बिकॉज इट्स रियली इंपॉर्टेंट दैट यू गेट द राइट ट्रीटमेंट. एंड I would also like to thank KPED. Kishan, would you like to?
Yeah, definitely. So, it's so important that we are aware of cancer, and it's really happy and proud moment that we have an organization like KPED with us. I'll read a small brief about KPED. So KPED stands for Cancer Awareness, Prevention and Early Detection Trust. It's a community outreach organization working in the healthcare domain since 2014, when it was first incepted. And as the name suggests, the organization works primarily in cancer prevention and early detection, and specifically in the field of cervical cancer. So they have achieved a lot through community outreach and behavior change interventions, and they have done a lot for the economically weaker sections of society. They have impacted close to 13 million people through awareness drive and screened over 13,000 people across 144 villages. So it's really amazing to have such a great organization with us that is working relentlessly for cancer prevention and awareness and early detection. Because as most of you know, it's very easy to cure, comparatively easy to cure cancer if detected in the early stages itself. And to have this support is really beautiful. There are multiple organizations working in the cancer awareness, prevention, and detection field, and KPID being a very prominent one. I believe if anybody thinks that if you can help somebody by spreading the word, it will be great, especially around cervical cancer. And yeah.
Because we all know that when it comes to cancer, it's a combined efforts from everybody, from the conquerors, from the caregivers, from doctors, from healers, from NGOs, from corporates, from hospitals, be it government or private, or many other bodies as well. So KPID and we have together spreading awareness on cancer. And this Sunday, next Saturday, which is 27th, which is also Nitish's birthday, we are having a conversation with KPID about complementary and alternative medicines in cancer care, which is a very important topic to discuss to improve the quality of life for cancer patients and extend their life. So just wanted to share this with you, and thank you so much, Neelam ji.
I
And
would just like to say one sentence to all those who are struggling with it, who are fighting with it. Please remember one sentence. Hope is a decision, but it is the most important decision.
Wow.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
just before we close for today, I'll introduce you all to the speaker of the next session, who is Nadia Carlson Bhavan. And just like Neelam ji, you are an author who has gone through the cancer journey. Nadia is also an author, but she has been on the caregiver side. So her twin sister Vera was diagnosed with colon cancer, and she passed away with cancer. And so Nadia has written this book on finding hope, which beautifully captures the journey that she has had with the twin sister. And the story is very touching because Nadia and Vera weren't aware that they were twin sisters. So they were both at an orphanage, and they were both picked up, yeah, from the same family. And it's a really
Yeah. So they met at the orphanage, जहाँ पे उनको पता चला कि वो दोनों twin sisters है, and then they lived together. And the one sister passed away with cancer, and the second sister is on mission to help many other cancer patients.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, and she has written an amazing book, so she is going to be the next speaker for next Healing Circle. And
Jyoti has just fought it very bravely. Jyoti?
Yeah. No. It's been yes, it's as you said it correctly. It's not an easy journey, but you somehow you get the strength. I don't know from where, but when you are single and when you're alone, there's nothing but yourself, your self-dependence, as you said it. Just have to do it. It's scary. I was totally under denial the first day when I heard stupid things when the doctor told me I have a stage 3, cancer, ovarian, and it had spread to quite a few organs. And my first thought of denial was I'll have hair loss. I mean, it was so stupid and vain. But that's how I was trying to deal, the first thing. And you just get the strength. I don't know from where, but you just, and Neelam, to be honest, I know you introduced me to Buddhism, and right now there's this lady who chants with me every day in the evening at 7.
Bless you.
I've just started 3 days ago. I know you had introduced me, and I went for a couple of sessions. But somewhere I don't know from where she came into my life, and we just started. I said, this is where I'm supposed to lead. So every evening at 7, we chant for 5 minutes.
Beautiful.
And it's
Very good.
it's but you get your strength. You just have to believe in yourself that you can do it. That's it.
I always say the human spirit is stronger than anything that happens to
I
it.
agree. I agree. I
Wow.
agree. And you can win it. You can, we all have the ability to do it
Yeah.
and fight it against all odds in this life.
Thank
And
you.
everybody has problems, but you can do it.
A big virtual hug to everyone.
Everyone,
who is
yes,
going through it.
thank you.
Lots
Thank you.
of strength, lots of love, lots of strength and positivity.
Thank
Yes,
you so much, and our pleasure to host these sacred places for places for all of you, because um, it's जो हम लोग all we do is just coordination, but it's you all who is lighting up this space to be here for each other and holding hands, holding virtual hugs for each other. Kafi, and I can see a big smile on Dr. Anu's face, and this is what a healing circle is. So, and Jyoti, thank you so much for sharing your journey. Would love to hear from
Thank
you tomorrow
sure.
about this. Yeah, and we have Atulji, Rohit, and many other Divya and many other people who have gone through the journey and are ready to serve others, help others. And what the one thing I forgot, वो ये था जब आप पर्पस की बात कर रहे थे तो people who have gone through the journey now they are coming कि हम लोग कैसे दूसरे की हेल्प करें जो उस जर्नी से निकल रहे हैं. So जैसे आप कैंसर होता है तो your life purpose changes, and here there are hundreds and thousands of people जो opportunity ढूंढ रहे हैं एक दूसरे को help करने की. So that's how beautifully it changes your life. So that's the beauty of cancer. So it's not that scary as it used to be. So we all need to come together to help each other, and don't share it outside, but let's kick cancer's ass.
Can I just say one thing?
Yeah.
You know, I did not have a caregiver. It was I, me, myself, and God. You and or universe, or cosmos, whoever you believe in.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You have to believe in yourself. There's no caregiver, there was no nothing.
Right. Thank you.
You have to be surrounded by positive people. Talk to positive people, and one of them I spoke to was Neelam.
Wow.
I was introduced by a friend, a common friend,
Bless you.
and she did call me, and she took my number and she called me immediately when she heard that I was alone.
Yeah.
And she pepped me up. So please be with people who are positive.
Right, right, very important. And कुछ लोग ये भी पूछ रहे थे अभी कि ये रिकॉर्डिंग मिलेगी क्या. सो व्हाट वी डू, इसमें जो भी चैट्स पे लिंक्स या कॉन्वर्सेशन हुआ है ये मैंने एक फॉर्म भी भेजा है. सो मोस्ट ऑफ यू मस्ट हैव फिल्ड द फॉर्म ऑलरेडी. तो
Yes.
हम लोग ईमेल करते हैं. सो ये सब चीजें वेबसाइट पे जाएगी विद द एंटायर एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द हीलिंग सर्कल. Recording will go on YouTube. It's already on Facebook Live, so you all can see anytime. And those who want to read it, it will be up on the website in next 3 to 4 days, and also video as well. So and up अगले every Sunday we do healing circles. It's 5 to 6:30 p.m. The themes of the circles are different depending upon who are the speakers, and looking forward to many more virtual spaces like this to share with all of you. And humble gratitude to Neelam ji for being with us today, and all of you for being here for each other.
Dimple and Kishan, thank you so much for this honor. And all my friends, we are all fellow fighters, and let's all win. Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Lovely meeting you all.
We'll close with a minute of silence.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you all.
Take care. Happy evening. See you again next Sunday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.